Golf Uniform Bravo. Just for information, there was traffic, Jet Ranger helicopter traffic joining from the north.
Golf Uniform Bravo. I visually see there an aircraft off to my left, but I look to the helicopter. Uniform Bravo.
Golf Romeo, Romeo, Golf Romeo, 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 Compton Radio, readability 5, runway 26, right-hand circuit, the QNH 1021.
26, right-hand circuit, 1021, Golf Romeo, Romeo.
Yankee, we're on a right base at 26 now, and visual 1.
They can't tell me to do anything. They just give me advice. I can tell them exactly what I'm doing next. Pre-taxi, mixture lean, fuel set to right.
Mike Alpha departing to the north.
Flat check operation, I've done that. Instruments DI sync, so that's pointing south and about 14, and this is the gyroscope, so it's likely to be out to start off with, and it may change.
Yankee just turning finals now for 26, and then we'll go on the south side and park on the end of the line out of the way.
Closer to 15, so that's about that.
Helicopter Golf Lima Yankee.
Tuned identity,
transponder.
This is for
park,
Bournemouth.
as close to
Can
the
now see us going 7,000 rather than just a piece of... or there will be
I didn't realise that.
Closed door latch, time off chocks. We'll set this to record. I take a long time, but it's all nice and...
Yankee, where's your H?
Yeah, I don't believe there is an H out there actually, but yeah, it's close to the house.
Radio check and airport information, please.
So that's
recording that. Station calling for radio check there again.
Right, we're ready to start moving. It'll give me enough revs
for radio
to get on the move. I tread as hard as I can on the left, and that proves that that's free.
Yep.
I go as hard as I can on the right, and that proves that that's free.
November Kilo Zulu.
He's spinning.
Readability 5, runway 26, right hand.
I'm passing in front of him. He's seen me. Oh, there's somebody standing in front of his wing anyway.
QNH 1021, Golf Kilo Zulu.
Ex-Harrier pilot.
Radio, this is Golf Bravo.
Now I want to check my brakes work, and they do. Right, you have a go at steering it. I'm going to play with the throttle. You don't have to worry about this. You're just treading left and right. Get a feel by paddling it left and right a bit first.
Readability 5, runway 26, right hand circuit.
Okay.
QNH 1021.
Yep. It's actually quite hard.
Yeah, you have to press down quite a lot.
And also it just feels weird if you're already a driver. I'm now going to close the throttle and I'm steering.
Okay.
I'll restore it to its tick over. I'm applying the brakes. I'm going to be the only one applying for the brakes. I've now taken the brakes off. It's your aeroplane. Have a go at steering it using the throttle. Bearing in mind that you're not driving the wheels, you're just turning a bloody great fan. So the moment you put in too much energy, it'll be going too fast. And it's a fast walking pace they want beginners to taxi at. And now we can move over a bit. We're going to avoid that chopper. We're going to go to the back end of the chopper. We're aiming for the gap between the end of the runway and the back end of that chopper, okay? So
right.
On this sort of heading. A bit further away from the chopper than that, that's good. It's so tempting to do this.
Yeah, it is.
But that's it, and then play with the throttle if you like, because just get a feel for it. Do everything gently. What I do is, what you have to do actually, is you have to pull this back. So if you...
Wrong way.
Yeah, and you can lose it a little bit. Close the throttle, and it'll just slow down, and then you can have a bit more throttle. And it's there's a lot of gyroscopic force in that propeller, so we're very gentle with.
Radio, say again.
Good afternoon, Compton. This is Golf Bravo Tango Lima.
I think there's a good off-road sport to be done, which is to have old aeroplanes with no wings that you steer with the wheels and just a big cage round the propeller.
Yeah.
And actually have a bit of off-roading.
It would. To be fair, I think it would actually be quite good.
I think it would, wouldn't it? You'd get through a lot of propellers unless the cages were playing good. Okay, so I'm going to take it back so we can do this a bit more efficiently. Cheers. Use my knees. Actually, you can hold that, just keep it back for us. Because what it's doing is it's using the draft of the propeller to put the back end down so those nose wheels are very fragile.
Right.
When we land, we try and put the mains on the ground first, and then we lower the nose wheel down. You've seen it in the jetliners, and you've seen the way they take off. Nose wheels are very fragile. And now I spin round into wind. And we've got two of de Havilland's finest. In fact, what we've got here is 3 ex-RAF trainers all getting ready to go flying. So, during taxi, run up, parking brake, on. I hold this up here to make sure that if it starts moving, I spot it out of my peripheral vision. I've checked that the left-hand tank works and the right-hand tank works, and now I've switched it to both. I've had a quick look at my temps. I go to fully rich. I wind this throttle up. You got it back, good for me, thank you. I wind it up to 1800. And then I make the propeller bite more air. And what should happen is it should slow down, but I also should see a change in the engine oil pressure.
Calling Compton, apologies, I still missed.
And I do. And it's the second flight of the day. When it's the first flight, I do that 3 times. Now I wind it right up to 21. And I switch off one set of plugs, and it goes a bit slower, and I put them back on again. I switch off the other set of plugs, and it's about the same. There's no real noticeable difference.
Right-hand circuit, the QNH 1021.
And then I apply a bit of hot air to the engine, and it slows down. And I look at that, and that, and that, and that, and that. Then I pull it all the way back, and I make sure it ticks over.
Compton, Golf India, Sierra.
And it ticks over, so I'll restore it to 12.
Golf Kilo Zulu, ready for departure.
Golf Kilo Zulu, the surface wind westerly 10 knots.
That's him. So pre-takeoff, trims,
Golf India, Sierra.
flap. We'll have 10 degrees of
Golf
flap.
Golf India Sierra Compton radio, pass your message.
Mixture, fully rich, top, fully fine, friction lever applied, engine heat knob in, mags, both, fuel, both, boost pump,
I'm just clearing out of your
alternator on, light out, T's and P's, green, green, green.
Golf India Sierra, you're unreadable.
Pitot head, not required. Instruments, de-icing, so we've turned around, that's saying 30 and a little bit west, a bit closer to 30, so it's shifted.
Compton radio, Golf Whiskey Oscar Whiskey India.
Transponder, that switches it on fully.
Joining information.
Check, I've got it. Check the fully.
Golf Whiskey Oscar Whiskey India Compton radio, readability 5.
That's all good.
Runway 26, right-hand circuit, a QF
Harnesses.
If
we're going to need these harnesses, it's in the next 5 minutes, okay? So pull that up bloody tight. You can slacken it later on for comfort. Right, if there's a problem with the engine during the takeoff run, I will close the throttle and I'll put it back on the runway. I would prefer to go through the hedge with that fucking great battering ram than be airborne. If I'm committed to being airborne, I will find a field within a gap of about that much. Actually, it'll be over there, and I'll put it on the ground over there. During that time, if you've got the capacity, pull that hard and get rid of it. We don't want to be upside down, because we will be upside down on the ground, because they haven't cut the grass over there. So we will be upside down. If we are upside down and neither of us has got rid of the canopy,
we have the traffic
there's that. You use the corner of that and you hit it fucking hard, but you will be
Zulu, traffic is a PA28.
you will be incentivized. We'll probably be on fire.
Crosswind now turning downwind.
And get out. Get out backwards. You know how to undo that. Don't worry about me. If you're clear of it, and you're happy and everything is good, and if I am in difficulty, then you make your own decision. But in first instance, I will sort myself out, you sort yourself out, then we'll see if we can afford anything. There's a cutter there for cutting the straps.
Yep.
Right, are you happy to go flying?
I am.
Right, so what we do is, we've got all of this set.
Golf Romeo Romeo is ready for departure. Lining up 26.
Surface wind westerly 13 knots.
Roger, Golf Romeo Romeo.
There's a guy over there who's wanting to use this runway in a minute. he's not going to be here for a couple of minutes. There's nobody who's come in without actually mentioning anything on the radio.
Compton Golf Lima Bravo is clear to the east.
We're clear, we've got all this. I'm going
Bravo.
to keep it moving, I'm going to swing round to the runway, and I'm going to whack the throttle open, okay?
Yep.
Full power. Engine's happy. There's my speedo. It's just started working. Engine's still happy. We've got 60. The nose wheel's off. The whole aeroplane is off. We are flying.
Compton traffic, Golf Whiskey India, joining dead side.
We climb out at 80. We'll go over there in case the engine stops.
Golf Whiskey India, Roger, a Bulldog just passing runway 26.
I'm going to make a little less noise for the neighbours. I've got a positive rate of climb.
You copy the traffic information.
I've got a reasonable height above the runway. I'm going to put the flaps away. I'm going to make sure she's straight and level. I'm going to brace myself in case only one flap goes. I'm going to put the flaps away. Flaps are going good. I'm going to turn around. I haven't explained about the circuit, but you've noticed that basically we're all turning in the same direction. We're all turning right on this airfield. And we're all at this height. So by turning here, I'm not going to crash into anybody who's coming the wrong way. There's our airfield. We've now got more than 1,000 feet above the ground level, so therefore I will have the booster pump off. And the engine hasn't stopped. Jolly good. We'll set it for 25, 25. We've still got a nice steady rate of climb. We're climbing out of the circuit. There's an aircraft over there.
Yep.
Golf, Romeo, Compton radio.
Golf Romeo, Romeo receiving.
Are you departing the ATZ or are you staying in the circuit?
Departing the ATZ, probably to the north for aeros over Tisbury, but initially to the south.
Roger, this traffic PA28 crosswind.
Roger, Golf Romeo, Romeo, visual in fact.
He shouldn't be telling me that.
Why?
Well, because it's not his job.
Oh, right, okay.
Golf Whiskey India.
If I was a beginning pilot, I might feel reassured that I'm being told everything. And he's not got any qualifications to tell me anything. He's got no radar.
All right.
They're not obliged to have radios.
Golf Whiskey India, downwind.
I know that he's not allowed to tell me that, and so I don't care what he tells me. Because I've already noticed when in his, I don't know who that is, but I've noticed that some of his earlier interchanges have been a bit...
Kilo Lima, Roger, do you require fuel?
Right, so... Are your ears good?
Yes.
Incidentally, there is a bag that we've mentioned in your side pocket. I'm not going to use the word, but okay. So you've lived around there all your life. I don't know if you spent much time in Dorset?
No, not long.
Okay. Well, there's the Isle of Wight.
Yep.
And it's looking like an island today. That's coming round to there. We can't quite, because of these clouds, beat Portland.
313 knots.
We're now heading for Portland, but these clouds are in the way.
Right.
And if you're not a particular local, there's not a lot of point in pissing around here, so we'll go over and start playing it around. I'll start giving you the controls in a minute. We've got 3,000 feet.
Golf Bravo, Romeo, Uniform Bravo, Compton Radio, runway 26, right-hand circuit, a QFE 991.
So QFE 991, 826 right-hand.
So I'm now going to get her into a gentle climb.
Right.
And I'm relaxing on the engine. It's saving petrol until we need it all. Sometimes we can see Wales from here. We might be able to with a bit more height.
Oh.
We still haven't quite got...
downwind, right-hand for 26.
There's Shaftesbury.
Golf Whiskey India.
All right, yeah.
You probably came through Blandford Forum when you came up here.
Yeah.
313 knots.
Behind us on our wing. I'm not really touching it, other than with my knees. getting stable. You know the 303 goes down to the West Country?
Yep.
Golf Uniform Bravo, have visuals with the aircraft ahead.
We're going to be using the 303 as a ground reference.
Right.
I'm heading over that way. The country house down there.
Yeah.
With a line of trees, and it's a lovely day up here.
It is.
So, I've got a nice gentle power setting. And at that power setting, she should fly straight and level without going up or down at about tread on the ball. That's a nice crisp day. That's not really going up or down. You're in a slight turn. That's actually, believe it or not, because you're a little bit heavy. It's that sensitive.
Well, that's the difference.
Yeah. So she flies at about 100 miles an hour, 100 knots, sorry. She still does want to go up slightly. And I'm playing with this little trim here. So please take the stick, and I'm going to wiggle it. And when I say you have control, I'll take my hands off it.
Right.
But when I wiggle that, about that much, and I'm just going left and right, that's what the wings do, okay?
Yep.
When I push it forwards and backwards, that's what the nose does, okay? And this is a military trainer, we can be rougher than that if we want. And we're not instrument pilots, I'm a visual pilot, I'm not qualified to fly on instruments alone.
Right.
But I use that as a bit of a guide, and I can say I'm in a bit of a plumbing at the moment. So basically,
15 knots.
when we're flying straight and level, look where the bonnet is.
Yeah.
Look where the wings are. You have a control, incidentally. So that wing's slightly lower than that wing, so you fix it slightly. And the bonnet's about right, and we're not going up, and we're not going down. And now I'm going to open the throttle.
November Kilo is clear of your zone and changing frequency to Bournemouth.
So you might think she's going to go faster, but she's not going to go faster because we haven't changed the trim. It's going to start going up.
All right.
But now wiggle that.
Wiggle what?
You're actually having to push to not go up, aren't you? If you push forwards, but now wiggle that.
This.
Yeah, push that wheel forwards.
Oh.
And that's changing the speed. Yeah, we'll actually use that to set the speed rather than the throttle.
Right, okay.
If we just change the throttle, she'll just go up, or if I change the throttle and close the throttle,
Bravo, final, have
it'll
visuals.
just go down.
Yeah.
And you'll have to start pulling, but you can fix it by pulling back a
Uniform
bit.
Bravo, surface wind westerly 15 knots.
And then she'll start getting slower.
Uniform Bravo.
I have control. Need to know where I am. So that's what trim is about, okay?
Right.
It's about effectively setting the speed. We're actually changing the way the tailplane flies.
Right, okay.
But we've still got 3,500 feet, and we're getting quite close to where we want to go. Can you see that lake there?
Yeah.
That's kind of where we want to go. You can see that we're heading sort of 60 degrees. Sun's over there, which is south. Actually, it's probably slightly south and west. He's got an overpowering urge to turn left. So you have control again. What I want you to do is I want you to turn 90 degrees. See where we're set on this, sorry. I've just done the trim for you.
Right.
But I shouldn't have done really. But without going up or down, so keeping it alright, do the trim so the bonnet's about right. So without letting the nose really change position, turn us left so we fly back towards that lake, and that lake it's under my wing at the moment, so if you look left, there's the lake behind my wing.
Yeah.
So what's happening is we are climbing slightly, the nose has come up a bit, so we're slowing down a bit and we've got a bit of a climb on, so that's fine. And we're now flying towards that lake.
Yeah.
Compton traffic, Golf Whiskey India, ready for departure.
And beyond the lake, now push forwards on the stick a bit so we can see what's beyond the lake. I'm looking for the A303. Push forwards on the nose, I don't mind if we go down. You'll go faster. The A303 runs through a valley. There's a longish, thinnish forest over there.
Yeah.
And between us and the longish, thinnish forest, there is the A303. You can see quite a lot of traffic on it. Can you see?
Can't see the traffic. Oh yeah.
It's going off over there.
Yep.
There's a bit of a bend in it, in the forest, but the straight bit I use goes down to a Y shape. I have control. Bang on the nose, there's a junction, a Y junction of the motor of the A303.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, and the A303 runs along here. The lake. Oh, where's the lake? I'm going to look for the lake. I think it's over there. Actually, you look for the lake. I think it's over there. Oh, can you see it?
Yeah, just under the nose.
Okay. All right. I want you to have control. I want you to fly us in a 360-degree turn. All the way round so that we come out heading on that direction. That's it. Have quite a lot of that. And then you'll find that you've got to play with the stick forwards and backwards. That's too much. Forwards a bit. Keep going round. See the badges coming up on there. There's property badges there. Keep going round. There's a railway line down there as a bit of a reference.
Golf Alpha Kilo Zulu rejoining to the south. Request airfield information.
Kilo Zulu, it's 26 for the
There's the
right-hand
lake.
circuit. The QFE is 901.
There's the 303.
QFE 901, runway 26, right-hand circuit. Golf Kilo Zulu.
And there's the Y junction coming up. So that was a 360. And now I'm going to do that. I'm going to do it a bit steeper. Okay, we haven't played with the rudder. I'm treading on the rudder, and you can feel it fishtailing.
Yep.
Also, the nose is dropping. That's because we're messing around with it. We're making a bit less lift. So she wants to fly at this speed because we haven't touched that, so the nose drops. When we do a steep turn, the nose drops a lot more because the wings are canted over so much that all the lift is going that way.
Yep.
So the weight is taking over. So I have to pull back, and when I pull back, we feel heavier. Okay. Going left. Okay.
Yeah.
So we should be seeing about 2G.
Yeah.
Golf Whiskey.
And the squelches are changing. There was a 360 and that took about half the length of time, okay? Now we'll do one to the right and your squelch is there, remember. I adjusted it. The faster we go, the more G we pull, the less sensitive the instruments are. We're going hard right now, okay?
Yep.
That's the stall warner. Not a problem. And where's our junction?
Just
Compton radio, type.
next there.
Taxiing for runway 26.
There's the lake.
Yep.
021.
There's the junction. Got it. Okie dokie. There was a purpose to that. The purpose was to demonstrate to anybody who might be idly watching us that we're likely to do unpredictable things.
Right.
We're now going to go to 704, which tells Bournemouth unlikely to be doing aerobatics. Okay?
Yep.
Now, proper set of checks before we do aerobatics. Height. We've got 4,000 feet. Airframe. It's clean. Security. That's done up, that's done up, that's done up. You've got no loose objects in your hands. That's all good. I forgot what the other S is. Engine. E. Location. I know where I am. There's the 303.
Yep.
There's a danger area over there. There's the lake back there. And lookout. I've been having a good lookout. We're beginning to line up with this 303.
Golf Whiskey India final.
Surface wind is west.
4,200, that's good, that's good. Normally the fuel gets slightly imbalanced at this stage. Alright. Now there's one very good way of checking, because I know you're a bit butch, alright?
Right.
Normally I leave this for a bit later, but it is a good test to check that everything's properly connected, which is is to turn it upside down. There's an aircraft over there.
Yep.
I'm keeping an eye on him.
Golf Kilo 0 downwind to roll.
Now then, the way I'm going to check properly for loose objects, as I'm flying down this direction with that telling me where I'm flying, I'm going to turn it upside down and briefly hold it there.
Okay.
If I was to turn it upside down from this position and briefly hold it there, we'd be going downhill very, very fast because of the wings.
Yep.
So before I turn it upside down, I'm going to get us pointing upright. Oh, not upright, I'm going to go up about 20 degrees.
Right.
And I'm going to pull some G when that happens. So basically, if you imagine we had a transparent floor, and we could see through it, there are our feet, there's the horizon.
Yep.
I'm going to plant our feet on the horizon.
Right, okay.
And then stop it, okay?
Yeah.
And then I'll come back down again. I'm going to pull hard, feet on the horizon,
Yep.
and then I'm going to relax. Next time, I'm going to turn it halfway upside down, and we will be upside down, okay?
Right.
We do that at 120.
Radio, QSE 991.
Wings level,
Right.
look out.
991.
Stop it. Over we go. Stop it. Upside down. Carry on going upside down.
Wow.
There's the aircraft below us.
Yep.
-1. And that was negative. That proves we haven't got loose things. I don't know how to adjust this. Keep talking.
Hello? Yeah, good. No. Sorry, I should really be doing that.
Okay, so that's loosened up.
Yep.
Good. We do a hard turn right, okay? And left. Hard turn left. There's the 303.
Yep.
I'm going to do a nice, simple roll, loop.
Okay.
In the loop we'll be doing about 40, maybe a bit more, at the beginning, at the end.
Right, okay.
So you need to clench your stomach muscles at the beginning, at the end. The entry speed for a loop is 140. So I'm going to need to dive to get that entry speed. Okay?
Yep.
Wings level. Dive for 140. Let the speed build. Look out, look up. Pull. Over we go. And here it comes again. Pull. Back to 140. Get all the height back.
Golf Whiskey India finals.
The headset wants to be towards the top of your head.
Yep.
That was good, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's awesome.
Good. We'll do a couple of aileron rolls to the right, okay?
Yep.
Same thing, plant the feet on the horizon and round we go. And this time we'll keep going round. Okay?
West northwesterly 15 knots.
120. Pull. Stop it. Over we go. We'll keep going round. Pull out. 120. Up we go. Stop it. Over we go. A bit bumpy. Thanks to the high wind. These clouds. Over the badges. Take it somewhere. We're going to go left. Those little clouds are the ones causing this slight turbulence.
Oh, right, okay.
We're dead side and copy the traffic on runway.
Right, we'll do another loop.
Golf Whiskey India.
Good.
Yeah.
What happens is apparently
Right, Roger.
when the passenger goes quiet,
Turning down.
feeling sick. So that's why I keep saying right. So we're going to dive, we're doing another loop. We're going to dive for 100 feet. Look out, look up, pull.
miles north.
Yep.
Information to rejoin, please.
Sucking it down over there. It is.
Hartford and Hartford flight. The
Right, nailed.
come off now in your 12 o'clock later.
Something a lot more gentle.
Roger, looking.
The earlier roll we did was up,
I've got him.
all the way round, and we wound up pointing downhill.
He's giving away to him.
I have to pull up because my wing is not symmetrical. If I have a symmetrical wing, I can just go round and the nose doesn't drop.
Golf Mike Oscar Mike Alpha.
And a loop
It's runway
is all this backwards and forwards, and you go all the way round. If you combine a loop with a roll, you get a barrel roll.
Right hand.
So we wind up,
3901.
we set off in this direction.
Right.
When we're upside down, but not negative, we'll be 90 degrees out, and we flow around the inside of a barrel. And that's actually the one I start with if I think people are a bit wussy.
Right, okay.
So it's quite gentle. There's video of a bloke doing it with a glass of wine, pouring the wine while he does it. It's a guy called Bob Hoover. Just died.
And Compton.
So a barrel roll.
Final.
Entry speed is 130, 140. Look around.
is west-northwesterly 15 knots.
Up to about 50. Over to that corner. Keep it going round. Come out. And it was all quite gentle. It is awesome, isn't it?
That's brilliant.
That's one for the eyes, not the tummy. That one's all about what it looks like. We'll do one going right now. Yeah. Not too sure about dusting. We'll do it gently. Right, that's where I'm aiming to come out on. That direction. So I dive for an entry speed. I've got a happy engine. I've got 3,000. I've got a bit less than 3,000. Go a bit more altitude. Raining over there.
Yep.
That's our airfield.
Alright.
We'll get a bit more height back.
Radio Golf Bravo Tango Charlie Hotel. Could have a radio check and airfield.
I'm going to turn right fairly gently. Alright, you turn us right fairly gently. Keep a little gentle climb going, so pull back a bit.
Compton radio.
Until we've gone around 180, so there's the 303.
6
Keep
right.
pulling back a little.
The QNH 1.
That's a bit steep. We're getting a bit keen.
26 right hand and 1021.
Because now you've lost us a lot of height. Keep pulling. I won't start an aerobatic manoeuvre. Right, leave it to about 80 and we'll go up. I won't start an aerobatic manoeuvre below 3,000. I don't want it to go slower than 80.
Right.
Okie dokie. So we're going to do a barrel roll over to that side. I have control. I've got 3,000. Got a happy engine. Got fuel. Wings level. Dive for a bit of speed. Here comes the speed. Up we go.
Compton Traffic Golf, Mike Alpha.
Nice and gentle. That buzzing sound is the stall warner.
Alright, okay.
While we're here, I shall demonstrate a stall. Because it's getting a bit choppy. Right, the engine's not making anywhere near enough power to maintain height, okay?
Yep.
So I have to let the nose drop and start losing height if I want to maintain height.
That's radio check 122.7.
And if I don't, if I keep the stick back, it'll get slower and slower.
Golf Bravo Papa Charlie Kilo Compton radio. Readability 5. Runway 26 right hand circuit. QNH 10.
Until it stalls. That's a stall.
QNH 102.
Alright, okay.
And I recover full power and make the speed get back. That's all a stall is. Basically, the angle of attack of the wing is too steep. The wind is flowing at the moment smoothly around both sides of the wing. And when you pull back too steep and you get too slow, the wind stops flying over the top of it. And the wing stops flying. And the nose drops. That's a stall.
Alright, okay.
Simple as that. And that buzzer starts happening at about 5 knots above it. Let's do it again. pulling. I keep pulling. Wings level. Still Warner, buff it, and nose drops. And I wait the throttle open and push the stick forwards. And don't lose too much height.
Yeah.
You do lose height. You're trading energy. You're trading potential energy for kinetic energy to get it back.
Right, okay.
I've still got 3,000 feet. 25 power, that gives more arrows. The air's a bit calmer here. Oh, I know what I was going to do. I was going to look for crop circles. Haven't seen any yet. We'll go hard left, okay?
Yep.
See, the still Warner, I'll show you where the vein is. It's under the wing. It's telling you it's getting close, but then you actually feel the airframe starting to shake before the nose drops.
Oh, right, okay.
Which is called buffet. And sometimes, basically when we do the arrows, we're trained to pull to the buffet. So we ignore the still Warner, but we want the airframe to say, oh, I'm getting a bit close.
Right, okay.
25, 3,300. All good, fuel balance. 3,000. Now then, we'll do a loop while we've got some calm air. Wings level. I need 140. 5 for 140. Wait for the speed to build. Looking around. Up comes 140. Clench. I pull a bit less hard at the top. Round it comes. And pull. And there's the road. There's the G.
4.5.
And we get the speed back. So with a loop, you gain a lot of height, you lose a lot of height,
Yeah.
wind up about the same sort of height, and you come out in the same direction. We're going to do a thing called a half Cuban now. You all good?
Yeah, I'm good.
There's me 303, there's me forest, there's me lake. With a half Cuban, we'll let it climb a bit. We'll start a loop, and you know, we get a little bit light, we don't go negative, but we get a little bit light to the top when we're upside down, and then we start coming back down again, and then I shout pull and we go all the way around, and that's a loop.
Right, okay.
With a half Cuban, we'll do 3/4 of the loop, and when we're upside down
Northwesterly
the other way, I will stop pulling. We will go light, and then I'll turn it that way up, and we'll go out that way.
Oh, right, okay.
Okay? It's a way of changing direction. So we should wind up at about the same sort of height in the opposite direction. And that's what we have this little heading bug for. Okie dokie. So it's just the same as a loop. Happy engine. We need 140. We pull hard. We go over the top. Quarter of the way down. Stop it. We go light. In fact, we might do negative. Right way up. Out the other way.
Right.
There's an aiming point. There's my direction. Up comes 140. Happy engine. 3,000 feet. Up comes 140. Pull. Over we go. Half the way down. Round we go. Out we come. How much fun is that?
That is good.
Quick alien roll that way. We've got 3,000 feet. We'll go for the 120 quickly.
Golf Charlie Hotel is lining up 26.
Round we go.
Surface wind is
With the speed back, get the height back. Gently drift round that way. Oh no, we won't. We'll do another half Cuban. Did you like the half Cuban?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll do a reverse half Cuban this time.
Right.
With the reverse half Cuban, it has the same effect of coming out in the opposite direction. So what we do is it, we turn upside down, I wait a bit, and then I pull the other way.
Right, okay.
I need to make sure I've got a bit more height for that, because if I pull through too soon, I haven't let the speed decay because I chicken, it means we're going full throttle downhill a bit too far, so just a bit of a soak. Time at 80, it's going up, this is all good. Okie dokie. So again, I'm going to be a bit rough to get it to the 140 because I don't want to spend too long losing the height. Got 3,500. So I need 140. Humpty Bumpty. Almost. Pull. 45 degrees. Upside down. Stop it. Push, 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 pull. Enough then. That's all stars then, don't really know where I am at the moment. There's the lake. Yeah, what's happened is I come slightly beyond my 303. You alright?
Yeah, I'm just getting a bit hot.
That's a sign. That is a sign.
Right.
You sweat like mad, but it is a sign your body's saying I've had enough. What we'll do is it's time to go home anyway. I didn't actually make a note of the time.
GoPro's been going for 40 minutes.
Say again?
GoPro's been going for 40 minutes.
Oh, is it? Right. Well, we'll piddle about a little bit on the way home. Right, you have control. I think the way I've got this set, that she should go straight and level at about 95.
Right.
So we'll continue on this heading. Okay? See that heading where that yellow blob is.
Yeah.
Or look at something. And get used to how the bonnet looks. What you do is you adjust the power,
Westerly 1.
you sort out the attitude, and then you trim.
Right.
So we want to be straight and level,
And Golf Charlie Kilo,
which is good.
You're
We're heading the right way, and it's come down to about 90.
faint.
So now, if you've got any push or pull that's happening with the stick, you remove it with the trimmer.
Right, okay.
So do it. In fact, when we're flying normally, you spend most of your time with your hand on the trimmer, especially if you're adjusting things. Okay? Now, although I know where I am, I'll help you know where you are.
Golf Charlie Kilo, rolling for takeoff.
There's Compton Abbas. There's us. We've done a lot of chucking it around here, and we're currently heading in that direction. So the airfield is over there.
Right.
So, actually, while we're straight and level, when we get it straight level, 40, so we do need to be around there a bit. What's happened is the DIS shifted from the compass. That's why we were pointing, we won't find due west. That's nearer due west. There's the sun. So, we're visual pilots. We get it sorted out so that we've got the right amount of bonnet and we're doing about 90 miles an hour. We're not going up or down and we don't need to touch the trim anymore, which is difficult.
Passing circuit to southwest.
And then I'm going to find the airfield.
Right.
We've got 3,000 feet and we're going up slightly. So if you lower the nose, you can't quite see it. So lower the nose very slightly. Down a bit. Not with the trimmer, with the stick.
Oh, okay.
And there's a little pimple of land between us and the horizon at about 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
Like a little pimple. And if we go left of that pimple, there's a rain shower.
Yeah.
Compton Radio, this is Able 1.
I think
Request radio check.
that the airfield
Full flight to Blackfoot.
is a little bit further left of the edge of that rain shower. It might even be in the rain shower at the moment.
Stability 5.
So if you turn so that we are flying slightly left of the edge of that rain shower,
26, right-hand circuit.
I'll give you a heading to steer.
021.
In fact, I'll tell you the heading to steer.
To the left.
Out there. That's where I want you to steer. I want you to steer 210.
Right.
2,200 feet. We're making our way back to where I know the airfield is. The air traffic zone, I think we're going up slightly, as I can see from the bonnet. The air traffic zone extends to 2,000 feet above it, so we're not in their zone, right, even if we fly over the top. And we're looking for the airfield. Oh, I know what we haven't done. We haven't gone and bothered a cloud. Yeah, can you turn back, please? You're going to need to climb, so let it climb slightly, but don't let it go below 80. There are quite a few of these are Simpsons clouds, aren't they? Yeah. Flat bottoms. I'm looking for a small enough cloud, and there's a tiny one there, and just beyond it there's a chunkier one. Yeah. And it's got a high spot, and it's got a thin bit at the edge. I want you to fly us through that thin bit. Right, okay. Flying straight into the cloud. 25, happy engine. I don't think we're going to get there at the moment. You've got to do a bit more climbing.
November Sierra Airborne.
I think if you keep it at 80, so that we might even be slightly higher than it, then it's easier to actually hit it. I want you to draw through the end of it. So it's high to our left, it's got a bump halfway between, and then it's got a sort of grayer bit towards one end, because I think you're missing the end of it. I want you to go through it a little bit. Okay? I don't want you to go past it, I want you to go through it a little bit. Playing with clouds. And I'm going to check my position, just to be sure. Actually, it's not a good position, sorry. I have it. It was because I saw that lake. We're quite close to military airfield down there, and we're getting a bit close to their space, and it'll frighten them. We'll go for that little one there. Steer for that little one there, please.
Final information, Golf November.
So it's a bit less well formed, it's a bit less Simpson-y. And again, we'll keep the climb going, because we'll get that energy back later on when we're gliding, you know, I'll cut the power and we'll glide back in. And what's going to happen is, if you're a pilot, you're going to freak out, because you can't see where you're going anymore. But also, suddenly you're going to realise how fast we're going. Just keep it straight and level and don't do anything else. You know that she's fine all right at the moment. She's got no reason. She'll bounce about a bit more in the cloud. It's not nice, I'll tell you. Not nice. All of a sudden, oh, it was a little one. It was a little one. But it freaks me out. I'm not allowed to fly in clouds, but that's a little one. I have it. We'll get back to going home. You have it. We're going to head south. Don't mind if we put in a slight descent. We'll get 21 up when we've gone around the edge of this cloud. And you can go in it a bit if you like. The wingtips in it. We've got 5,000 feet, so we can easily lose this height. So if you just push forwards on the stick, we'll go lots faster. We'll get home quicker. So there's the stately home that I showed you before. There's Shaftesbury. The Temple of Land is directly ahead of us. The airfield is very slightly to our left. Right. I know you won't see it. It's one of the hardest airfields in the country to see it. All right. So I'll brief you on the landing. I'll do the landing, obviously. Yeah. In the circuit, you know we took off to the west. Yeah. And then we turned right. Yeah. And we turned right. And we turned right. We turned right and then we went over there behind us.
Westerly 1.
All the turns on the circuit are right.
21.
We I'm not in the circuit. Actually, lose a bit less height.
102.
Lose it a bit less gently. Slow down to about 110. But they'll still be at 110. She'll still be descending, but not quite so radically.